Once upon a time, there lived a tiny sea slug who lived in the deepest trenches of the ocean. This place was unlike other trenches, bountiful and brimming with life. The inhabitants had not to worry, as they knew the currents would take care of them and their friends. Because of this, all could live without fear, and harmony enveloped the trench. Our little sea slug friend was no different, enjoying the company of those that differ from her, enveloping them in as much love as they gave her. Yet, everything was not as it seemed, and the little sea slug was unaware of the happenings. You see, the current that they loved and looked to for safety was unable to stop the humans from polluting the water. Over time, the once happy and vibrant inhabitants started to lose their color, and that once beautiful landscape started to become a barren wasteland. She screamed to the current. The only response she was given was the echoes of her own screams. Because of this, the little slug too started to become a shell of herself, losing her vibrance as her friends slowly disappeared. The poor slug had nothing left. She once longed for the days of peacefulness and harmony. With her vibrance fading, so too her longing for better days. Now all the little slug wants is food and a place to sleep. Over time, the little slug became sickly. She exclaimed, but there was nothing left for her to indulge on, and so the little slug's hunger continued to worsen. Eventually, she grew too weak to go out and venture for vital supplies. Grew more and more tired as the starvation started to set in. As the little slug lay in the shell of a long-gone coral, and her eyelids heavy as she grew weaker, she thought back to the happier days, when the manta rays taught her to swim, or when the crabs taught her to dance. The little slug asked the current for one last time, knowing full well it had abandoned the once vibrant landscape. She said weakly. Her voice grows fainter. She said in a whisper. Once again, she heard naught of the current. Her strength was completely gone. The little slug thought to herself, She then closed her eyes and allowed herself a well-deserved rest. The ebb and flow of the ocean's water, cradling her to sleep. The last remaining inhabitant of the trench was in her final sleep. You see, the current had never really disappeared. In fact, it had always been there. The protector was dormant, fully unknowing of the trench's fate. The dying of the trench finally caused the current to awake from its long slumber. The landscape that it had nurtured with all its heart was but a shadow of its former self. Panicked, the current desperately looked for any signs of the inhabitants they protected, fully knowing the true fate of the trench. There, out of the corner of its eye, it spotted a tiny frail figure and rushed over to see what it was. The little slug, too weak, felt the familiar flow of the current. It whispered to her, "Do you want to be the light in such a dark place?" Sheesh. Gosh. What? Wait, hold on. Where am I? This isn't the trench. This is... What are those? I get this weird feeling that I probably should cover myself up. There is a weird structure at the top of this hill. Maybe I should go check it out. I wonder if this guy would let me borrow these things. Kinda reminds me a little bit of seaweed, but I don't think that's what it is. Hey, come back! You need to pay for those! I don't know what that means! And so, the little slug's adventure began. Hello guys, it's your resident slug here. I just want to say how much I appreciate everybody for the support over the last couple weeks. I didn't think I would get this far in such a short amount of time. I know this is at the end, but I just want you guys to know that every single one of you is very special to me. And the amount of support that I've gained has just been tremendous. This community is just out of this world. You guys are all so nice. So here's to the future, and I'm excited to see where this goes. Thank you.